is always open. My house is always open for you to see my kids, and you still haven't seen them. So why you saying that you're asking for spousal support because I'm trying to take the kids from you? The kids is always open to see you all the time, and you know it. You talk to my kids every single day. It's not my fault. I to New York.
The Cardi B and Offset drama is back in the limelight and back in the media. Now we know that they had a well-publicized split, and they've been trying to get this divorce finalized for some time now. Now she's trying to divorce him, but he's saying that he wants spousal support. First it was going to be 50-50. He said no, 70-30. There's a lot of things that come in with that. So October 6, 2025, she was on an On Purpose podcast, and she was discussing all this whole situation and how everything went down, and she was saying this.
Contact this person for a month. I will not give in. I will not forgive this easy. I will not go back. I will not go to the patterns. I will not go through it. But I was crying every day. I was hurt every day. I was out here in LA in a mansion by myself. I was thinking about it every single day. And when your heart is not done, your heart is not done. I'm pregnant. I'm going to accept my flaws, the flaws that I bring in this marriage. I'm going to apologize for it, and I'm going to work on it. And when I take accountability and you take advantage of me taking accountability and you take that as a, see, I know she'll be back, instead of me taking accountability and you taking advantage of that, it really just killed everything.
So she's saying that she took accountability, but her accountability was taken for granted because he was basically saying, I know that she'd be back. Now, I tell you guys all the time, do not look at these athletes and entertainers as inspiration for how you should live your life. They are not the people, right? A person like me, I've been married for 25 years. I'm far from perfect. My wife is far from perfect, but we've been struggling and striving and doing all the things that we're supposed to do, being sacrifice and commitment to keep it together, right? But she's saying that because she took accountability and she was taken advantage of, she did this. I'm having a baby with somebody else.
So what? That happens. It's life. Let me tell you something. I did things the correct way the first time. I fell in love. I got 2 rings in my finger. I lasted 7 years. 7 years that I didn't have to last with somebody with. I lasted 7 years in a marriage. Stop saying, "Oh, but you're still married." No, I'm legally separated. The only reason why I'm still married is because somebody wants me to pay for the taxes. Y'all want to know the tea? The only way I could get out of my marriage if I pay for somebody else's taxes, even though I pay for my own, and give them one of my properties. I'm fighting for that. I'm gonna fight for that. This is not no love. And like I said, I'm not gonna stop living my life because on a contract, I'm practically still married because somebody want to hold me hostage if I don't give them millions of dollars to get out of it.
So when you promote a certain image to the public and you live in through vanity and all, you're showing off for other poor people for selling them a dream, right? You're presenting yourself a certain way. Then when it's good, but when it's bad. So now you got the bigger hand, right, in a divorce. So he want that money because he's not trying to go back to a broke lifestyle. He done presented himself to the world as this person that's bad and bougie, right? That's bad and bougie. And you are this whatever, the baddest B, right? So you got a real N word and a bad B together, and they promoting a fictitious image to regular folk that they're on high status. So now when it's time to break up, you got the bigger hand, he wants some bread, right? And her fans are online talking like this.
She was going to give him 50-50 of everything she has, and he talking about he wants 70-30. This just tells me he don't want to get divorced. Talking about Cardi left him with the kids, went out, got pregnant for another man while they were still legally married. Sir, the reason your marriage is over is because you wouldn't stop cheating on her. Bro was a serial cheater, embarrassed her every chance he got, and now thinks he deserves 70% of what they made, of what she made.
So her fans is upset. And it's always interesting to me when a lot of women get on here and they talk about cheating, the men cheating and all this kind of stuff, right? We all, listen, when you out there in that lifestyle, we're all doing the same thing. We're all wilding out. I'm not in their marriage, right? I know he admitted to do some things, but she also admitted to doing some things, right? But it just seemed like A lot of times y'all want equality, but when this is part of equality. Like you're married without a prenup to a man, and you're both of y'all was out there doing some wild stuff. When it's time to divorce, there's a split. You got the bigger hand. This is part of equality. Men have been doing this forever. So a lot of women are upset because it's just like you want equal rights when it only suits you, right? I'm for equality for everybody, right? So now the divorce coming, he said no, 70-30. And the reason why he's saying a 70-30, because a lot of the ways that she made her money, he was writing a lot of those raps. His penmanship was in the middle of a lot of the music that when them checks was coming in, he was a part of that. He introduced her to a lot of things that went on as far as the music industry perspective, and she blew up and became a big star just as well as the Migos was, right? But then you had a brother saying this.
Stephon did. She also got pregnant, you know what I'm saying, with another man's child while we was legally married. So you know what the judge say? The judge say, yeah, go and let her pay that spousal support to you. Offset was just going broke, complaining about money. Now all of a sudden, Offset in the money, thanks to Cardi B.
See, let me say this, because we know for a fact that Offset was cheating. That's a fact, right? He was out there doing his thing, young, getting money. You got a bunch of floozies waiting for you with jiggly booties and thongs everywhere. Like, yeah, he succumbed to the pressure, like most young men do. Right? Absolutely. Right? This is the thing though. Cardi B, while after just having a baby, she just had a baby. The baby just turned 1 year old, right? And still married. She went out and got pregnant by Stephon Diggs, right? And then posted this, right? When she posted this image of her son with Offset's son, her and Offset's son with the same hairstyle as Stephon Diggs, right? And and this is all going on. This is all going on with her beef with Offset, right? So Offset came and posted. Now, when somebody blanked for playing with my son, then call me a crash out, right? He said, I don't care how I look, trolling with my kids ends bad, right? And these are all the things they do when you have immature couples. Everybody just running wild with no accountability. Nobody's willing to put in a sacrifice and commitment it actually takes to be married. And then this generation, they put their business out there for everything, right? But there was a sister that kept it all the way 100. I respect what this sister said, right? She kept it all the way 100 by saying this.
Is mad at me because I said Cardi B is gonna have to pay Offset alimony. Yeah, the law does not get, y'all don't get it. Listen to me. Cardi B should have left the first time. This is what punishment looks like. This is what not listening looks like. Yeah, she's gonna have to pay Offset, and there's no way to get around it. Y'all don't get it, man. Y'all don't get it. To a certain level of wealth, the law applies. Like, yes, she is now the rich nigga. Like, a lot who are rich, y'all shouldn't think like niggas ain't gold diggers, acting like y'all don't know this. Niggas is gold diggers. Are you stupid? Watch how men, like, if you really want to know, especially do successful women, date a man, and then if he wants to marry you, ask him to sign a prenup and see how everything changes. Y'all don't get it. But you gonna have to learn today, boo. Y'all gonna learn slowly. Cardi B, you have to pay that man. And the court's not gonna, even if you ask for full custody, it's gonna be a big war because he's gonna want 50-50 custody and he's gonna get it. His mom is gonna take care of the kids or his cousin or whatever, and you're gonna have to pay him until they're 18. And you just had a new one. Ooh, baby, you should have went to the clinic.
And I tell you guys all the time, right? These people create an image. And I had a conversation with my wife yesterday, and she was saying, I just don't understand why these people put all of their business online. This is for everybody. And I said, baby, let me explain something to you. We grew up in a different time. We grew up in a time when we didn't have cell phones. There was no computers in the house. There was phone booths outside, and you went to the phone booth, right? You beeped somebody. You had to wait till they call you back. Nowadays, you have the internet. You have cell phones. You have just technology, right? And you have these people, they're in their 30s and 20s. They're in their 20s and 30s. They grew up in the digital age, in the computer age. They grew up on social media. They grew up doing reality stuff and telling people their business and talking to people online. So this is the world that they know. This is normal to them. There's no more privacy. Privacy, they don't even know what that means. They don't know what that means. As soon as they get hurt, they run to the internet, right? As soon as they get some money, they run to the internet. There used to be a period of time when you pulled out a camera, we hid from the camera. They run to the camera. It's a different world. So I can't ask that question, why they put everything on all their business online, because this is the world that they know. They don't know my world. They don't know the privacy world. They don't know the privacy world. To keep everything private, I can't get no clout from this. I can't get no sympathy or cheers from this, right? So they live out in that spotlight, and they live for clout. They live for attention. There's no love. There's no spiritual and mental connections here. It's all about how the people perceive me now. That's what it's about. Not love, but we still doing the physical acts of having sex, making babies, and holding on to these titles, but we're not living up to them. Then we're creating children and raising a whole nation of babies that think the same way. So now everybody becomes digital robots with no feelings, no love, no attachments to nothing. Nothing. That's how they got you. So when you watch a Cardi B and Offset, he can be with a woman and putting his babies in women and still running wild. But then you can watch her. She haven't even healed from having the first baby, go out and get pregnant again by another man while still being married. There's no spiritual connection. They're not evenly yoked. There's no attachments because they are worried about what other people thinks about them. Because these are digital babies. They don't live in privacy. They live where they just put it all out there for the world to see, for everybody to know. You younger generation, like 40 and under, 35 and under, that's the world you live in. That's the world you live in. Everybody, but there's no more privacy. Everything is out in the light. And that's just a normal world to you guys, man. That's just a normal world to you guys. And me, at my age, I'm very observant. So I adjust to the times that we live in. I gave birth to this generation. I saw this generation coming in. So that's what I had to explain to my wife. You can't ask them type of questions because they don't know what you're talking about. They live in the world where everything is everybody else. Everything they do is out for public consumption. So he wants a split of 70-30, right? And so he can go out and live his life and keep flossing for the people. Keep promoting this lifestyle that's bringing him money. The more and more he can floss, the more and more he can show vanity, the more and more he can show off to other poor people, the more and more money he'll make. That's just the world they live in. And then she gonna go out, she gonna sit courtside with Stephon Diggs, and she don't care that she's still married. She don't care that they legally separated, but it's still not over. She don't care nothing about that. I have to serve the needs of the people. I need this clout. That's what it's about. So this was never a marriage. The real victims in this is the children, because they are inheriting all of this foolishness. And the children in your household and your household and that household, they are all inheriting all of this foolishness if you don't wake up and be separate. Scriptures, Corinthians 6:17 says, come out from amongst them and be ye separate. Be ye separate. Look at what's going on and say, hey, I don't want that for myself. I do YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I do YouTube. I turn this thing off and go back into real life as a husband, as a father. I don't put all my business online for everybody for it to be consumed. Right? But I'm gonna go older. I can see what's clearly happening here. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till next time. Peace.